Hey guys, today I'd like to take a look at a mask that is by no means rare, but I find it interesting and it has sort of a interesting history, and that is the 2011 Don Post Juice. Now this mask is part of the 2011 Don Post Back from the Grave series, and it first appeared in 2011 as part of this series and was also available in 2012, the last year for Don Post. But the mask itself, the design, first appeared in 1989. And as you can see from this catalog photo, it was a little bit different, painted a little bit differently, and it had a lot of slime in the mouth area. Which was sort of a theme in a few years of Don Post's masks, to have that stringy slime. And it stayed in the catalog through 1994 in that form. And so it was available for 5 years from 89 through 94. And then in the 1995 catalog, it was not pictured at all. So apparently it was not available in 95. And then it reappeared in 1996. And in the catalog in 1996, it seemed to have the same paint job and configuration, as you can see here, as the Back from the Grave version. And then in 1998, as you can see in this catalog, it actually appeared with a second version of paint on this one, and as you can see, it's called Demon Seed, and it was painted gray. And so both Juice in this paint job and Demon Seed were both available from 98 through 2000. So those were available for 3 years. And then in 2001, Juice and Demon Seed were completely gone from the Don Post lineup. And they remained unavailable from my research until the Back from the Grave series began in 2011. And this was one of two masks that were featured first in the Back from the Grave series, as described in Lee Lambert's great book. You can see the photo here, the Illustrated History of Don Post Studios, and then it was available, of course, the second year in 2012, 2011, 2012. The 2012, unfortunately, as we all know, was the last year for Don Post Studios, and here it is pictured in the 2012 catalog as well. And well, I think that this mask is well made. It seems that the Back from the Grave series was cast maybe a little bit thicker, maybe a little more care taken on the mask. It has a pretty decent paint job, as you can see, and it has some care taken to it. And what's really interesting about this mask, I find, is the way that they did the tongue. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. I'm going to move this in closer. And I don't know if the camera does it justice, but the tongue really looks realistic. It sort of has a white haze over it, and again, in person it looks much better, but it looks really realistic in person. And what's interesting about this mask is that it's obviously, anybody that is familiar with heavy metal at all, it's obviously based on the character named Eddie that Iron Maiden used. I don't know if on all of their album covers, but most of them. As you can see here, this is a picture of Eddie, the character from Iron Maiden. And I've done a side-by-side, so I'm going to show the side-by-side here. And as you can see, it is the same character. It's completely based on the character. I couldn't find any information to tell me whether Don Post had an official license for this, and I couldn't find any information to tell me where the name Juice came from, whether that was tied into Iron Maiden in any way. through the lyrics or songs or anything like that. I researched it and couldn't find any songs, couldn't find any lyrics, but please, if someone can help me in the comments, please help me understand a little bit more about this character if you have any other information. But as I said, it's not a rare mask. It is available. You can find it. This particular Back from the Grave version was only available 2 years, so there were probably fewer of them made than in the original Don Post releases. But I think it's cool. It displays well. Even for Iron Maiden fans, it's probably a cool thing to have. So it has a crossover appeal. So that's the Don Post Juice. And thank you very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.